Matthew Grala, thank you for sending this in. I appreciate it. Power to the back leg. So we're going to start here very quickly and get into this. So the power to your back leg, when you're squatting down into about 116 degrees, which is good. You see your energy with your chest going forward. I'd like to see you stay back. My guess is that you see where your chest goes from here to here. You are going from your chin in front of your belly button to your head going the opposite way. So what I'd like you to do when you squat, I'd like you to stay as straight as you can so that you're not having that head movement as much. So you're changing axis, which is actually decreasing your ability to rotate as well as you should. So power to the back leg, 116. I should be down to about 110. If you can get it down to 100 degrees, that'd be absolutely fabulous. So definitely a weakness of yours. We're going to look at your front knee now. Internally rotated front knee, as you can see, it's inside of your ankle, and your body will not throw the ball until this knee gets over the ankle. So we've got to step straighter, and there are drills to fix that. Just off the top of my head, box drill 1, box drill 2, walking windup, walking torque are going to help a lot with that. Just getting that knee over that ankle. You're stuck internally rotated, and it's hard for your back hip to even come through. You're really going to fight against that front leg until you get that right, and that should pick up, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 miles an hour just from fixing that. So that's a big deal for sure. So internally rotated front knee for sure. So let's look at the angle at your front knee. Your angle is about 119, which is very low. What that needs to do is that knee needs to come back, and you need to be able to lock out that front knee as much as you can. So 135 plus degrees out of your front knee. Now, I'm saying these numbers, all it means is make your leg straighter and stop your front leg. And if you can stop your front leg, you're going to be able to drive into it. All right, so that's a weakness for sure. Right at plant foot, let's look at your angle of your legs at foot strike. You're at 99 degrees, which is good. I'd like it to be about 110. So I think you could push for a little bit longer. You haven't even pushed with your back leg yet, and all of a sudden you plant your foot right when you're about to push. So there's no hip rotation going into your knee, into your front knee, and you lose a lot. You can see that energy slip into that front knee. If you can fix that, man, I mean, that is a game changer right there. I mean, that's 10 miles an hour in 2 months kind of stuff. I think you can do that. So double angle at foot strike, that's a weakness as well. So lower body wise, for sure, something that I want you to work on. Next one is going to be posture at ball release. Posture is you're at a B posture, and what that means is you're going from here to there, and so that's like 57 degrees axis change, and it's hard to keep that ball where you want it when your head's changing all the time. So I want you to work on that posture and locking that in. How are you going to do that? Well, you just keep your upper body back a little bit longer, that spine back a little bit. So, all right, next one, we're going to talk about stacking. And being a lefty, I'm a lefty as well, so it's kind of cool to see you throw. So I'd like to see that back leg squat improve. Obviously, we talked about that. And this head, try to keep this head over that rubber as long as you can. So your butt's going to go first, your upper body is going to stay back, and your lower body's staying low, and it's going to stay low as long as it can. So stacking is definitely something I want you to work on. Stacking is a weakness of yours. Next one is the front glove. You can see the front glove. So watch, you have a bent arm, straight arm, and then you're trying to throw with a straight arm. My arms are not going to be straight. So anytime I have a straight arm, we need to look at that and say, how can I'm doing something wrong. Okay. So that elbow right here, coming off of this elbow, that's where I want you to start pinching. I want you to start pinching with that elbow. You see your glove pinching, not your elbow, and that's really going to throw off, and you can see it come down. So you have the arm down here, and then you have your arm coming out there. It should be somewhat even-ish. I mean, it should be maybe here and here would be better. So that front glove needs to travel up in and pinch into that shoulder blade to help you rotate. So if you're rotating around this way, then you having your glove down is really not helping that rotation. So front glove is an issue for sure. And don't think of this as like, oh, I got so much to work on. Think of it as, if I fix that, I get 2 miles an hour. I get 1 mile an hour. And there are kids, we just had a kid improve 73 to 83 in a month. How? Well, we did a lot of work. Wasn't a lot of talking. It was a lot of doing. And just by doing and testing your velocity, you'll be able to improve a ton. So that's a front glove. Let's talk about your high elbow. Check in here. It's not bad. It's about 4 degrees low. And see. Not a huge issue. You have what we call a low elbow, but it'll be classified as a high elbow. I think that's something you can work on. It's not a huge issue. I think it has a lot to do with your front glove. If your front glove's down, then this is going to have some kind of effect here. So high elbow, low elbow, I think that's something that you could work on. Maybe that's like the last thing you work on. Not too worried about it. Okay, next one is chest extension. Chest extension. Get about 33 degrees, and what I'd like to see is about to 50. So not a huge difference between your chest to that line, but a lot of it has to do with your front knee. If your front knee is not stable, then your chest can't come over. You can see that right there. Your chest comes over after you throw and after your knee comes back. So if you get that front knee back and it's a little bit stiffer, then the chest can come through a lot better. All right, that's chest. So that chest extension is definitely a weakness. That's huge, but it has a lot to do with your front knee. That's a big deal. All right, last one. What we call a hand fly out. Okay, so your maximum layback here, and watch where that hand goes. The hand goes outside of that elbow. The reason why it's going outside of that elbow is because your upper body is going this way, your glove is down, and so the ball is going to pop out that way. In order for me to throw a ball as hard as I can, it needs to come out right as straight as you can, as fast as you can, out that way. So what I'd like to do is, I think that's a weakness of yours, hand fly out, but a lot of it has to do, that hand fly out, a lot of it has to do with that front knee. It's hard to throw a ball when your front knee is pointing that way. Okay, so you fix that lower body. We're going to start with your lower body first and then work up to your upper body, but that's pretty damn good. I think if you fix that, my goodness, man, you're going to be an absolute beast. So please let me know if you guys have any questions, and I will be sending this over to you shortly. And thanks for being a part of 212 Athlete.